You don't understand. I'm testing them. Well, he did it. He got through the maze.
Wonderful. Now, if you can just get him to take some food off the table 4.
It's not that wonderful. Dr. Ziegelman's mice can run the maze in 4.5 seconds.
Huh? How'd your guy do?
3 days. You don't understand. Dr. Ziegelman and I are working on a very important experiment. I've been trying to reproduce that experiment here with my mice, but it's been a failure.
Wayne, think the psychologists will like this dessert?
What is it?
Ink blot cookies.
The Freudians will like it.
What do you think?
Ah, looks like a young blonde pastry chef locked in a passionate embrace with a chubby but cute waiter.
All right, let's go, clowns. We got a big crowd coming in. That bunch of shrinks is going to be here for the whole weekend.
They're psychologists, Murray, not shrinks.
To me, they're just another 100 mouths to feed. Let's go. Come on.
Shrinks, he calls them. Doesn't he realize who these men are? When I think of what they taught me about understanding my fellow man, about the true meaning of humanity, it makes me want to punch Murray right in the mouth.
Oh, Dwayne, would you mind giving this to Dr. Ziegelman?
What is it?
Oh, just some questions, some things that have been bothering me. You know, if he has a spare minute or two, maybe he could answer them.
What is life?
Yeah, now the others are just true or false.
Dr. Ziegelman's a psychologist, Gail. He doesn't have time for people. Dr. Ziegelman, you came.
Yes.
I can't believe it.
Yes.
Let me introduce you to the mice.
Mice, schmice, let me take a look at you, Kaminsky. Let me see the mice. I'm just joshing, look at you. How is my favorite protege, huh?
Fine. How's my favorite mentor?
Ah, funny. There will never be another Kaminsky. I'm expecting great things from you, Kaminsky. And I'm expecting greater things from you.
Oh, you don't even know my name.
Don't I? Gail?
How did you do that, huh?
Dwayne has told me all about you. But what he hasn't told me is that you haven't fully resolved your deep Oedipal conflict with your father. And consequently, you are hopelessly attracted to me. Because I am a figure of stability and authority to you.
Dr. Ziegelman, I have to speak to you.
Kaminsky, haven't I taught you anything in 4 years? The first 15 minutes of an interpersonal relationship are crucial. Besides, there might be action here, you know.
It's very important. My test results are in conflict with yours.
What? Where? What?
But, Dr. Ziegelman, the truth is, I can't get this experiment to work.
Have you altered their diet in any way?
No?
Are they getting a full 8 hours sleep?
Yes?
Is this mouse alive?
He's alive, but he's not responding. I'm afraid we're going to have to take ourselves out of the running for the grant money.
What? We're talking $50,000 here. That's enough money to keep this mountain cheese forever.
But our results are not conclusive.
Well, yeah, of course. If they're not conclusive, we'll have to disqualify ourselves.
I knew you'd feel that way. I'm very relieved.
Yeah, sure.
Dr. Ziegelman?
Yeah?
What do you see here?
A young blonde pastry chef, locked in a passionate embrace for the dark-haired psychologist with puppy dog eyes.
Oh, this guy is good.
Ziegelman, I'm surprised that you even bothered to show up.
Why shouldn't I show up? I have a good chance of winning the grant.
You're not serious. My work is known far and wide in scientific circles throughout the world. My book is a major success.
Oh, yes. I haven't read it. It's got a catchy title, though. I am the only one that matters. Like it or lump it.
Well, it beats fooling around with mice.
You underestimate my work, Harper. If we can communicate with mice, it is only a short step to communicating with eagles. And from there, the sky's the limit.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Emil Menzies of the Menzies Institute for Sex Research.
Comstock, you want to show Dr. Menzies and his assistants over to table 5?
Boy, Institute of Sex Research. You guys must have one hell of a Christmas party.
I'm afraid not. Most people have the wrong idea about sex research. They think it's all fun and games. But I can assure you, it is serious work. And after a while, just the same old grind.
Well, I'd like to volunteer my time and my body to help you with your sex research.
That is a very generous offer. Perhaps I'll take you up on it someday.
I was thinking of Saturday night about 8 o'clock. I'd like to study under the tall one, if possible.
Menzies! So nice to see you again.
How nice to see you, Alan. You know my 2 lab assistants, Roxanne and Trixie.
I would like to get you under a microscope. Please sit.
You must be careful of Ziegelman's rapier wit.
I'm sure you know me, Dr. Jonathan Hopper. You probably read my books.
To be perfectly honest, Hopper, we don't read much.
You know, Ziegelman, you ought to write a book. Of course, then you'd have to find white mice who could read.
Dr. Harper, you have to admit that at least my work is based on scientific evidence. You are a pop shrink whose success is dependent on slick packaging and a kind of media hype.
That is just not true.
Really?
I happen to be a serious scientist who abhors commercialism.
Dr. Harper, your agent just called. He wants you to fly to the coast next weekend and do the Merv Griffin show.
Out of the question, I'm doing Carson next week.
I know you're from different schools, Dr. Harper, but surely you must realize that Dr. Ziegelman's research is crucial.
Wayne, please.
Young man, he hasn't had a major discovery in over 5 years. I think his last one was that might prefer cheddar cheese over Swiss.
I have something new to announce to you. I have made a definite breakthrough in our knowledge of the learning process of mice, Harper.
But Dr. Ziegelman, that experiment hasn't been working.
Wayne, it's working, it's working. Our tests are conclusive. We have had earth-shattering results. And I intend to share my findings with you in this very room on this very weekend when I will win the Colwell Grant.
Dream on, Ziegelman, dream on. I shall win the Caldwell Grant.
Ah, maybe Menzies will win the Colwell Grant.
Personally, I don't care who wins the grant. It's how you play the game that counts.
I can't understand it. Dr. Ziegelman is ready to announce his success, and I can't even make it work one time.
Well, he'll be in here any minute, Dwayne. He'll show you.
Zach, have you been fiddling around with my mice?
Dwayne, you know I wouldn't do anything to hurt those little guys. I've always loved mice. Ever since the first time I saw Ned Funicello in a sweater.
Evening, scholars.
Dr. Ziegelman.
Yeah.
I'm glad you could come. I think you know everyone. Let's get on with the experiment.
Experiment?
Yes. You guys are in for a treat. Dr. Ziegelman is going to announce how an ordinary mouse can be propelled through a maze with the use of sound waves.
Dr. Menzies is showing slides in the dining room.
He is? Let's go.
Okay. Wait a minute, Dr. Ziegelman. What about the experiment?
The experiment? Oh, yeah, the mice.
Tough choice, watching 2 mice go through a maze or slides of Trixie and Roxanne. Later, Doc.
Wait for me.
Wait. Don't you want to see this, Michael?
Well, more than anything, Dwayne, but I'm afraid nobody's going to show up for Dr. Menzies, and I'd hate for him to have his feelings hurt.
Yeah, that's right.
This is very important to me.
All right, but this better be good.
Yeah, this better be good.
Well, it's not so good when I do it, but I'm sure it will be when Dr. Ziegelman runs it.
So, what's the problem here?
When I turn on the sound, nothing happens. The mouse doesn't move. Or if it moves, it runs into a wall.
Oh.
It's almost as though that mouse doesn't learn the maze at all.
Where did you buy this guy?
And I'm sure you'll agree, if we can't duplicate the results, there's no way that we can announce a breakthrough.
What? We have to announce or we lose the grant. Our work will stop.
Then we'll do it for nothing.
I would like to say that we will do it for nothing, but the money gives it a certain little extra edge, if you know what I mean. Besides, we have expenses. We have Bunsen burners and Petri dishes, and mice are up $1 a dozen now. Grant, Dwayne, we need a grant.
But the experiment isn't working.
What are you talking about? I've done this 1,000 times myself. Here, let me show you. I'm working here. I think I can get this to work.
He's not moving.
Yeah, well, he will. You'll see. Oh, look at that! Ah, there it is. There it is, you see? He ran the maze. In good time, too.
What?
The experiment. I told you there was nothing to it.
That's incredible.
Isn't it?
Have you ever seen anything like that before, Michael?
Well, I'm not quite sure I've seen anything like that yet. I have this feeling that I missed something here.
Dr. Ziegelman, could you? Would you run through that just one more time?
Come on, Dwayne. The mouse is tired. Give him a break.
Once more, just to make sure.
Very well. Once more for my little Kaninsky, okay? Ready? Here we go. Look, there it is again. Done. You know, every time I do this, it's a thrill every time, you know?
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, well, you'll have to excuse me now. I want to catch the end of Menzies' show.
Thanks again, Dr. Ziegelman.
Oh, delighted, Dwayne.
What a man. What a mouse. What a psychologist.
What a magician.
And then, in my early teens, things began to change for me.
Yes, well, it usually does. That's a time of change and confusion for many, yes.
Yes. Yes, that's it exactly. I felt I had nowhere to go, nowhere to turn, no one would listen. I was always being interrupted.
Hold that thought.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Ziegelman, I have to talk to you. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't interrupt anything.
What is it, Michael? Is something wrong?
Gail, can Dr. Ziegelman and I have a couple of minutes to talk?
Oh, sure. Why not? It was always that way in my adolescence. My father always had work to do, business to attend. He never had time for me either.
It's about that experiment that you demonstrated for Dwayne and me the other night.
Oh, yes. I think we're really onto something there, huh?
I saw you move that mouse. I know you're faking the results.
That's absurd. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Move the mouse? Why would I want to move a mouse?
Often, I'd hear the sound of laughter coming from my father's study, but these doors were forever closed to me.
You may have fooled Dwayne with that sleight of hand of yours, but you didn't fool me. I saw everything.
Everything?
Yes, everything.
Then? I knew I shouldn't have tried it without the mirrors.
I'd like an explanation.
Well, but the mirror is set at a certain angle. It could make it look like the mouse was going to...
No. I want an explanation of your behavior.
Just a moment. Gail, I would like to talk to you some more, but I have something to say to Michael, and it's just between the two of us.
Sure. I know how it is. That's what my father would say whenever he wanted to get me out of the room, and then he and my mother would have a terrible fight. Sometimes the noise...
Was there a key word he used to get you out?
Later.
Later.
Later. It was always later, but later never came.
Yeah.
There was a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
He married his secretary. They moved to Marin County and bought a hot tub.
I see.
And I didn't see much of him after that.
Later.
What happened between my father and me is over and done, and I realize that I don't need to carry it around with me anymore. Alan!
Yes?
Thank you for helping me realize that.
Later.
Dr. Ziegelman, I'm a little bit confused. Now, you're a talented man and a good psychologist, so why do you have to fake this experiment?
I'm not sure that's any of your business.
Oh, but it is my business. Dwayne is my friend.
Well, Dwayne is my friend, too. Believe me, Michael, it's in his best interests.
Well, it would be a lot better if the explanation came from you. Now, I do not want to be the one to tell him that his idol has feet of clay.
Well, I don't want to be the one to tell him either. So it's settled. We'll keep it on the QT. Yeah?
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, because you leave me no other choice.
Michael, please. Michael, you don't understand. In the last 10 years, psychology has been sold as a mere commodity. There are gurus on every corner. Self-help books full of easy answers to questions that have no easy answers. So where does that leave men like me? Men who prefer a more scientific approach, huh? Out in the cold, that's where. People have no time or money for research anymore. They want instant solutions. So now, I am passé.
But surely all the work you have done must count for something. I mean, you have contributed so much. Your lectures, the books.
People forget.
All the areas you pioneered. If these mice could talk...
If these mice could talk, I wouldn't have to fake the experiment.
All right. let's think about Dwayne. He idolizes you.
Oh, Dwayne. Dwayne doesn't know what it's like out there in the real world. Michael, I need the money to continue my work. People don't reward failure. Well, that's the way it is. My mind's made up. We're playing hardball here. The end justifies the means in this case, Michael. There's just one thing I would ask you.
What's that?
Please don't tell Dwayne. No, Michael. All right. I can't stop you from telling Dwayne the truth. But you know what it'll do to him? Michael! We are dealing with a man who believes the Muppets are real.
Hey, Comstock, you better leave Dr. Menzies alone now. He's here to do his work.
He's here to help humanity. I'm a part of humanity, am I not?
The jury's still out on that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. His slides are a lot better than those you showed us last year, or your trip to the Poconos.
Hey, those were good slides.
They were boring, Murray.
Well, that's because he's only seen the first 5 hours.
I couldn't live through 5 hours of Menzies slides. Oh, I'd love to try, though.
Well, try getting lunch out there instead.
Michael, what do you think of these questions I got made up for Dr. Menzies?
Not now, Zach. I got a lot on my mind.
You got a lot in your mind. Listen to this. 1, name 14 erogenous zones and draw them. 2, if nothing happens on a date, how do I get my money back for dinner? 3, is it true you can marry your sister in Texas? 4,
Zach, why don't you ask him something intelligent?
right. 15, is it mandatory to keep your socks on at all times?
Better.
Is there any more cream for the coffee?
Dwayne, can I talk to you for a second?
I don't have much time, Michael. Dr. Ziegelman's going to start his presentation any minute.
Well, now, that's what I want to talk to you about. Okay, now, let's come over here for a minute, all right? Now, I want you to imagine that this table is your maze, okay?
Oh, another one of your games?
No. Now, this is serious. Okay. Now, this spoon represents the beginning of the maze, and this fork represents the end of the maze, okay? This cup is the mouse. I am Dr. Ziegelman. Okay, now I'm going to perform the experiment exactly the way Ziegelman did the other night for us, right? All right, here we go. Oh, boy, looky there.
You did it! Now, wait a minute. You don't really expect me to believe that a coffee cup moved from there to there. How did you do that?
Exactly the way Ziegelman did it with the mouse. When you looked away, I moved the cup.
Oh, so that's how. Wait a minute. Are you trying to say, are you implying?
All right, now promise me you won't do anything drastic. Ziegelman faked that experiment. I saw it with my own eyes.
Well, maybe you ought to have your eyes checked.
Dwayne, I am telling you the truth. Ziegelman is a phony.
I don't want to hear it. Dr. Ziegelman? A phony? Next you'll be saying that the Muppets aren't real.
The word great has perhaps been overused in the past. But when I think of all my accomplishments, there really is no other word to describe me. I am perhaps the most important man who has ever lived.
Thank you, Dr. Harper. Your words are an inspiration to us all. And to yourself, I am sure. And now, one brief announcement. My lecture tonight, Sex, Fantasy, and More Fantasy, has been moved to the Paradise Bar and Grill, where we will all meet and break into small groups. Or one large group, depending on how well things go.
Menzies?
Ah, yes, a question.
Can a man marry his sister in Texas?
That question has been asked often. The answer is yes. Just don't tell anyone. Well, if there are no more questions, I am pleased to turn the podium over to Dr. Alan Ziegelman, who is about to announce a major breakthrough in Homo sapien rodent relationships. Dr. Ziegelman.
This is indeed a momentous occasion for me. The fact of the matter is, I have been looking forward to this moment for 3 years. As my esteemed colleague has mentioned, I am here to announce a major breakthrough in direct man-mouse communication. And I wish to God I could. But I can't. Because I'm afraid my experiments have been a failure. After years of research, I've come to a dead end. The only thing that I can conclude is that mice hate mazes.
But Dr. Ziegelman, the maze, you showed me, it worked.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry, Dwayne.
But Michael was right. You cheated.
Yes, I cannot deny that, Dwayne.
I feel betrayed.
That's only because I betrayed you. Dwayne, I would like to introduce you to my laboratory assistant, Dwayne Kaminsky. As you can see, Dwayne is a little upset with me right now. And he should be. Well, you see, I came that close. Well, more like that close to faking my test results today. So instead of a breakthrough, we have a failure here. And Dwayne is young. He doesn't understand failure. And perhaps neither do we. It's not a waste of time to fail. I'm not saying it's fun, but it's part of progress. We should never be ashamed of it or try to cover it up. A lot of great men have failed only to rise again. Aristotle, Louis Pasteur, the Bee Gees. My only wish is that we men of science should not become so obsessed with success that we become afraid to fail. Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry, Dwayne. I let you down.
You didn't let me down, Dr. Ziegelman. It was a very brave thing you did. I'm proud of you. Dr. Ziegelman?
Yeah?
From now on, I'll work harder than ever. I'll be in the lab 24 hours a day if need be.
Don't get carried away, Dwayne. We'll be doing our experiments next year for free.
Dr. Ziegelman?
What?
There's just one thing I have to know.
Oh, yes. Dwayne, the Muppets are real. They live about 20 miles outside of Scranton. In a trailer park.
Next Monday, join the Peanuts gang for tremendous fun in It's Arbor Day, Charlie Brown. Then catch the hilarious premiere of the Stockard Channing Show, where Stockard outcons the con artists battling for consumers' rights. And don't miss the premiere of the all-new series Flow, starring Polly Holliday. A great night of comedy next Monday on CBS. Now get set for MASH next following news break.